tentatively. Don't even put your line marks until you are sure about two things: angle and proportion. Just two. Forget about everything else. Angle has to be right. That way, that way. One of you who sit over there, Elliot, really missed the angle, right? Miss so much. Angle has to be as accurate as possible. Number two, proportion, right? If you begin to make the streetcars much larger than this building, it's gonna look a little bit difficult to understand, right? Angle and proportion. Now, until you are sure about the angle and proportion for the line you are going to be making, don't put any mark at all on your paper. Just stay like this and slip, like that, until you are sure. Oh, okay, I got it now, the angle. Here you go, the angle. I got the angle right now. By the way, if you have your photograph with you, I am now drawing the tip, the white hat of that streetcar. I felt like I got the angle and proportion right, so I'm putting it there. Not because I'm smart or what, I just observed it more. And I observed it, that's number one. Number two, I've been doing streetcars a lot. So it's like, its body shapes is a little bit familiar to me. But I know it's a little bit too large, right? You can cut it a little bit like so. Now the other thing about streetcar. In this picture, you see the front side and the side. It's so complicated to paint this side and that side. It's complicated, right? So the trick is, when you draw it and when you paint it, treat everything like the front side. Worry none about the side until later. Much later in this worry, just assume, imagine that's all front. So what, right? So I'm just doing it like all front, no side. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it a little bit because it's too large. I'm going down now, still and at the first streetcar. See, I am so observing about the proportion, right? And now I'm dealing with angle. You see? I'm dealing with angle now. And it turns like that again. See how slow I drew, right? Because this is the area I would like to emphasize. And I'm going up now. I'm going up now a little bit. That's so. As a matter of fact, this mark I made earlier wasn't so accurate. So I'm going to be adjusting it a little bit like so. That's one streetcar I got. I didn't invent any wheel. I just observed it and copied it and make sure the angle and the proportion are right. If you cut this first streetcar and compare it with that, it's going to be a little bit like that. You need to blow the size a little bit, right? It's going to be like that. It just takes you a couple of things. Number one, don't draw like that. No. Because you drew too fast, too tentative. You didn't know what you are going to put. You just put it first and judge it. Oh, it's not happy with that. No, not happy with that.
Then I use my eraser.
Exactly. So just draw until you got the confidence about the angle and the proportion are right. And then start putting them up. It's a good idea too, to draw continuously like that. But if you cannot, it doesn't matter. You can stop in here and re-observe. And stop in here and re-observe. That's the trick. Now I'm going to continue drawing to the streetcars on its right-hand side or whatever, the smaller one, right? And I do not all of a sudden begin again in here. Why? Because if I begin again in here, I'm going to end up with two blocks. I don't want that. I want every single shapes I made on my paper to be well connected. The eyes, when they enjoy a painting, they do not look like No, they're gonna look like, this is how they enjoyed it. Oh, welcome back again. Oh, there is some kind of path that we as a painter need to produce, to create, in order to guide the viewer to look and how to look at it. No? So if I suddenly, after I got it, after I got the first streetcars done, and I suddenly make the second streetcars, the eye's gonna be like, don't want that. So I will create an imaginary, if it is not there in the reference, an imaginary path. Fortunately, in this reference, that's there. You see, there's a little bit something in between those two cars, right? And again, it has so much angle problem. The angle gotta be correct, right? Now I am drawing the second streetcars. It's going up that way. And see, proportion is so important. What I meant by that is, make sure the tip is different as it is in that photo. Yeah. I'm not smart or nothing. No, I just take my time with my drawing. I don't feel like a smarty pan, trying to put things and judge it after I put it. No, I don't want to do anything or put anything until I am sure the angle and the proportion is correct. I'm not losing my breath because I paint, because I talk. Just to make sure there's no misunderstanding between us.
You're not alone in this room.
Do you need water, Harry?
No.
Okay. Harry, you're almost doing a line drawing, aren't you?
This is very much line drawing.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, don't draw too much.
Yeah.
Because this is the area I'd like to emphasize. I'm going to draw a little bit more. Remember what I said earlier? Mm-hmm. Literally, you want to put the same number of lines in here, like in here. You don't want, right? Literally, you don't really have to do it that way. But, philosophically, not literally. Okay, let's just finish this guy here. And see, I'm dealing with another angle here and another proportion, right? I missed it a little bit. Like so. I got a second streetcar. The good things about that is I got those two shapes well connected. So I won't face risk later on when the painting was done. That's the viewer going to look like. They're going to enjoy the first one, hopefully going to enjoy the second one in a smooth fashion, like because you created that type. And I'm going to just don't want to stick on this window area. I'm going to go a little bit more to the wall area, to the outside area where the buildings are and all the other stuff are, right? I prefer to carry on from here. Angle problem. I by purpose doing it that way. In the reference, that's a straight line. The curve was like straight lines. I hate anything straight.
Yeah.
Remind me of a factory. Anything straight is not in our world, not in our art world. Remember, this is the world of reality. This is the world of art. We can do anything we want. And I use the word hate, straight lines. Straight lines is like fake, boring, fake, perfect. Yeah. By purpose, I do it that way, like S, like letter S, right? Hopefully that be fruitful. And doing it that way. And doing it that way. Oh, there's spring trees in there, right? Mm-hmm. Tiny spring trees. What's that? There's three. At least it reminds me there's a tree in there. Remember, we are in the wall area. We don't want too much drawing. No. We don't want the drawing in the wall area to compete against the drawing in the window area. We don't want that. No. The window has always need to be spatial, the emphasis area. Oh, there's another one. I just put the second one, like so. It's three, right? Oh, there's car in there. Now, I question myself. Do I want that car? Do you want?
No.
Which one you don't want? There's the two cars, and there's a black and a silver. Which one you don't want?
Neither of them.
I want.
Yeah, I like the car.
Because I cannot walk from my house to here. So I'm gonna give an honor to this car. The
No,
first
you're
car.
gonna take the streetcar.
Yeah, you're in the street.
You have a point. Am I gonna be stubborn enough to just draw this car? I don't want to draw this car to be in the same quality as I'll be drawing my streetcar. This is just the outline yet.
And then you
I haven't
don't want
put
just two
anything.
things. Usually you want
Exactly.
an uneven number, right? So,
Yeah, that's true too. 3 always be better than 4.
yeah.
I didn't think of that.
But don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
You still have 4 edges. How you gonna deal with that? You never make a painting with 3 edges like a triangle like that. That's okay.
Start something.
Yeah, but you made a point. Yeah, but you don't really have to worry about it. The problem with art is, the more you read, the more you attend a workshop, the more confused you are.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
Everybody has a different idea.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna simplify this kind of. I didn't make that up. It was just there. And I'm good in copying angle and proportion. Angle and proportion. Because I just do this so much, I know where to go. But I didn't make that up. I just follow that. There's not an angle problem in there. Maybe I missed the angle. I'm gonna make the second car too. Maybe in the end I'm not gonna paint it. I do not know. But put it there, right? Just put it there.
It's leading the procession.
Yeah, just leave it there. You can use it or not use it later, doesn't matter. So let me carry on. Just a guy standing there, or just what?
The lady with the red.
Nearby this car here.
Yeah,
If everybody holding your own photo reference, it's gonna be easier to follow my drawing. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit boring, no? Oh, there's a guy there behind on the right-hand side of that silver minivan, right? I'm just wondering why that guy looks so tall. It's like a basket player or what?
He's up on
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Put him, right?
He's on a platform.
No, his feet are right there. He's tall.
Yeah, he's
So
tall.
he's not on the, but
He's on the same place as the
but he's
woman
not on
is.
the road though.
No, but he's the same as the girl, so he's quite a bit taller than her.
Oh, we won't worry about him.
Oh, forget about it.
It's just to test you whether we are looking at the same spot.
She's a short
Okay.
lady.
Let's carry on with this.
Garbage can?
I constantly remind myself, I am now in the wall area, so I have to restrain myself, right, for not going too much with the wall area.
The war area.
The wall.
Wall, okay,
Wall area. Because I felt like I did so much in the wall area. I need to come back to my window area, to improve it, to upgrade it, to update it, to put more in my window area. Yeah.
I'm not in your
So
way, am I?
every time I can get that feeling of balance, weight balance. You still remember weight balance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna develop more of this streetcar thingy. And I wasted so much time in drawing, and I don't mind that. But you might thought that if I draw this slow, I'm gonna paint that slow. You wait and see when I paint. But when I draw, I really take my time. Because I want the angle and the proportion correct. That's about it. This is the windshield. And until now, I am still treating the streetcar like everything is the front side. I don't worry about the rear, the sides of it. I'm quite happy with that. How it developed. What else do I want to put? I see another trees on the right-hand side, right? Sometimes it's not practical to create a path first before you put a shape, right? Sometimes you break the rule, and art is about breaking the rule. This is the trees on this side. It's just to remind me. Fortunately, it was a connection already, so I don't have to develop one. And there's some other cars in here, right? Like so. Oh, that's not the car maybe in here. That's not the car there. Just leave it there. Remember to connect your component to also the edge of your paper. Let it like holding up, like stitch. to the side. So the composition gonna look like sturdy and strong. I know there's a lot of traffic lights in there. Don't bother putting it in your drawing. Later on, we just paint it right away. Because by the time you're done with your drawing, you don't toss it away, right? You're still having it with you. So anything you don't put as a drawing, you still need to put if you want to when you paint, right?
And you're going to use gouache or something else that will go over the paint, right?
This
So
is
it
gouache
doesn't
too.
matter.
This
Yeah.
is gouache too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some more gouache later on. I thought that I drew too much now. Really, I drew too much, and I feel like I'm being constrained, right? Because the more you draw, earlier on we talked about something, right? When you put the line drawing on your paper, by the time you paint it this way, right? And you get to that earlier line drawing, and you stop. Because you are alerted by that line drawing. You stop. And then you start again. The result is your paint dries. And you make like little strokes. If you never had that line drawing earlier, you're going to go like whoosh, like that way. Meaning, every single line drawing you put makes you stop when you paint. Stop and go and stop and go. That's a good recipe of muddiness, right? So, put line drawing enough, not too much. If you got it there already, that can help you during the painting process, just there. Don't add more. That's why, don't go like, you're going to confuse you a lot by the time you paint it. Because when you paint with your brush like this, when you arrive here, oh, I'm going to stop. What is that for? Oh, stop again. You stop too much, right? So I felt like my line drawing is too much now already. So I need to finish it. I'm just going to suggest the background buildings like so. Angle. It needs to be, better be precise. Like so. That's enough. I don't want any more. I don't even bother of painting this guy here. You know why? The reason is the sky, not building. You do it this way, with this very small shape, it's going to attract the eye. Because there's going to be a change of colors from brown to blue. And you will perceive this as from building to sky. And you're going to look. We don't want you to look here. Don't want. We want you to, most of the time, look at this place here. Right? So I'm done with my drawing. I just add a little bit more line in here to emphasize the perspective. I missed that a little bit, like so. And adding a little bit curve in here. See? I'm making this curve. But before I put that line, I look at that. I don't want it to be at the same level. Variation. See? Even for a little thing like that, I'm really
this looks
concerned.
the same.
See? At least it's a little bit higher than that. See? That's kind of variation. I like variation. And we are free to do whatever we want to as painters. Okay. I'm gonna use my oil pastel a little bit. You see that a lot of yellow traffic lights, which is nice to have, right? You can paint it, but I always find the easiest way to achieve my meaning. Every time I can find an easier way to do that, I rather go with that route. That's better. Oh, it's a traffic light, right? You don't really have to paint it that much, right? And make sure that your strokes all looks different. Don't make it the same. Give a little bit like different yellow. Sometimes I might want some thingy, just for the sake of making it different, right? And don't do it like so, like no. Just one time, drag. You remember I said earlier, we have a lot of energy. My energy not to here. I really need to sweat up, eh?
Should we move?
Nah, not yet, not yet. By the time I work with water, you better, go a little bit. Otherwise, you're gonna experience the Viridian explode. Who got the Viridian explode?
Ruby, it was
And
Ruby.
you. The Viridian color
yeah.
explosion.
Meridian exploded.
Yeah, it just exploded.
Oh, some nice green too in there, right? And
You've
just,
got lovely
and
writing.
just toss it down.
You got lovely writing.
How you guys? How do you guys like color?
Writing.
You guys like color,
I
right?
like it.
Oh, yeah.
Mine scribbled.
Oh. Vary the stroke. I did that one. I did another one. That one,
Okay,
right?
why are you doing this?
Yeah, you hit it like you're mad at it.
Yeah, I'm mad. Remember, my energy is up to here. I don't need to write it down.
Yeah, why are you putting the blue in? Where's the blue? You mean these signs?
I'm on that, but I can get your help. Put one anywhere you want.
What?
Yeah, put the stroke anywhere you want. Just put anywhere.
I'll look at the
Yeah,
picture.
it's okay. It doesn't have to be there.
Yeah, there's,
Nice one. It's a good variation. Good variation. I got my angry strokes, and you got your delicate strokes.
gentle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Can't help.
Reserved,
I
Ruby.
suddenly see some
Reserved.
fiery red.
Yeah, reserved is right.
Is the purpose of this to tell us where we're gonna put color where, like what
But I
color
gotta
where?
change.
The thing is,
Send them, but not
the thing is,
necessarily
this is
compliant.
just small strokes all the way.
Yeah.
It won't really like, making your, it won't really fail your painting. You make suddenly that big strokes, you better be more careful. This is just a little tiny strokes. It won't really fail your painting after all. They're light.
There, that's the lady's coat.
That's all. All right? I don't want any more. Oh, you see chalk here. Use it?
That one.
I don't know what this for, but put it here.
The little dot there.
I don't know what this will
To
do.
represent it, not
That's
the
what
color.
I was trying to figure out.
Oh, there's one streetcars in there, and one street sign in there.
White on the street.
Yeah, put it here. See?
What about
give him
the
the
top of
soap.
the streetcar?
Ah, that's enough. We find a different way of doing that.
I see.
Don't use
Just
one tools to do the whole lot, right? This needs to be done. This needs to be stopped. Don't use that anymore. Oh, I still have another gadget. Black ink, my favorite. I always mix my black ink, like a third of the ink itself, a third of just water, and a third of something like warm color. Like any warm color, red or yellow or anything you choose. Warm, I prefer warm. I really like cold. Just choose a third of cold. I choose warm, so I put a third of here. So I'm gonna see whether this
Does
is a
that
good.
change the texture?
That's right. Yeah, it's not as
A little bit of
strong as it was if you just used it straight from the thing.
But your paint isn't liquid. How do you put that in? That paint isn't liquid.
Oh, you just scoop it and
Okay, just do it.
yeah.
So you put turpentine?
No,
No,
it's
no,
just
no,
it's
no.
just
Oh.
permanent
Indian.
Indian ink. Yeah, that's correct. And dust it again. Ah, that's nice. See? And the color is rather warm.
Did he not mix?
So I'm gonna use this and this bamboo pen,
Oh, no, mine wasn't.
but I'm not gonna be drawing with this pen. It calls pen, but don't draw with this. I'm just gonna put highlight. Highlight where the dark, black, dark are there. And I'm gonna put it like in a relaxed manner.
Now, is this waterproof ink that you're putting
It
in?
has to be waterproof.
Yeah.
So it's the paint that smudges it then? It's the ink, yeah.
Sometimes you don't really hit it in the right place and right spot. Don't worry about that because we have this.
White.
And don't draw like do line drawing with this guy. You have a lot of line drawing already. You got to stop line drawing. You got to stop using oil pastel. You're using this just to put the highlight, and mainly in the window area. This is the window area, right? Connect Very important to connect stuff. You don't want like end up like blocky, splotchy, whatever.
So you're mucking.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a shelter. Okay.
Use your nail. It's the best tool you ever had, and free. Now, you see this building? This building is rather nice to be rendered properly. At least display or present the angle correctly. A little bit. Right? Right? Like so. And put something in here to remind you about the perspective. Maybe that's going to be fine. Like so. Right? I am painting streetcars, cityscape. City has always been busy. If it doesn't look busy, it looks like Water Lakes. It's not. It's not convenient. Downtown is dusty, noisy, and all those crazy stuff. It has to be crazy. If it's not crazy enough, it doesn't look like city. I'm serious about that. Many people, some people,
Lindsay's getting that way.
they paint city like, oh, so, you know. I cannot even find a word for that. So, I still treat my streetcars like all the face, no side at all until the last minute. I don't want it to be more comprehensive than that. It's gonna do the trick. I feel like the connection here is a little bit lacking. That's why I'm just adding it that way, right? Because I like to have all the things connected. While I still have a little bit of ink in here, I just don't want to waste it. I just smudge it here. Just smudge it here. Maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit better. Sometimes I put the mark in the wrong place, but better be wrong than right.
That's a new concept.
Now, if you really look at the stage of my painting now, right?
It's coming.
I shouldn't say that. I should say, I am now looking at the stage of my painting now, and I felt good. Most of you might thought or might see or might think, what's that? This is jumble of stuff, right? Nothing wrong about that kind of feeling, but because I've been doing this kind of painting a lot, I knew what's gonna end up good, what's gonna end up bad, or whatever.
We don't.
You don't, because you haven't yet, do the same thing. But don't worry about it. Be with me. Bear with me.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna be painting it. If I work by myself, I'm not gonna dry this. I'm not gonna force dry this. Because I like everything to be like dry naturally, rather than forced it by hair dryer or by tissue paper. But it's gonna take a while if I do that. So I'm gonna just blot.
Hair dry.
Oh no, I don't want that.
no
I
hair
don't want that.
Okay,
Yeah.
it moves the paper.
Why I don't want that? I'm not anti-hair dryer because I paint mostly outside, outdoor. If I am spoiled by technology, I'm gonna miss it by the time I paint outdoor. I have no place to plug my stuff, so I'm gonna use anything I can find, right? I don't want to blot this area.
No.
Because this area is, I want it to dry rather naturally because this is where my emphasis is gonna be. In here, I can. If you blot ink or paint, I hope you don't do that a lot. Just do it this way. Drop it. Let it suck a little bit. And then hold and rub it that way. Make sure you don't move the paper so it doesn't smudge around. Lift it, that's there. The top part is a little bit, I missed a little bit. Just do it that way, but do it with the other side of your napkin, like so. That's the safest way of doing that. I don't like to do it here.
No.
Because I don't want to spoil it, but this is maybe in the window, maybe in the wall, so I can take a chance. See? That's nice. But you don't smudge it. It still end up clear. a little bit pale now. Okay. I see water in here. I dropped some water. I can just clean water. I see something in here which is less important. But I don't want to do anything about that. It's the jewel. This is in the wall. I can take that off. That's the problem you usually face when you work with ink. Because you thought it was dry, by the time you apply your brush stroke, it smudges. A stain. Okay. I'm gonna paint it now, right? I drew rather slow and pretend like I knew what I'm doing, that I knew what I was doing. But and then I put my oil pastel like I was angry, and then I put my black ink like, you know, like a combination between angry and knew what I was doing. I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint fast, really fast. So any of yes.
But when you flung the paint over here, did you have an idea of what you were going to do, or you just flung it
Oh,
and
yeah.
it fell, they fell?
I got the best idea in my
You
head.
have it.
I want it to look busy and messy the way cityscape should look. Busy, messy, noisy, see.
Okay.
And that might be a good way to see it. Okay. Anyone wearing a branded clothes?
What?
He's going to
branding
splash.
Oh.
Please
Well.
move to the very end of the class. Otherwise, I'm not going to be responsible if I'm splashing something. Okay. I want, you know what, in every workshop, and if you would like to take the picture at this stage, it's a good idea to carry on. Lightest. You got a white, you got a black. Well, later on, I might push for more black. But practically, you got like 90% of black you wanted. So your duty gonna be easier because you just need to fill the gap between those two values by putting mid-tones, right?
Mid-tones,
You know what makes one painting beautiful?
Black.
Yeah, black makes it beautiful, but it would not make it like comprehensible.
No.
What makes a painting, sorry, I must not ask like what makes a painting beautiful. What makes a painting readable? Understandable. There's no word. Understood. The mid-tone makes a painting.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-tones. The mid-values. Now what makes a painting? The dark and the white give a punch to dictate you. Look at me. Because I got that contrast. Just for that. That's the purpose of dark and white. But what makes a painting like credible, like holding up together?
Yeah.
The mid-tones. Now, my duty, what I'm going to do now is just to fill up that mid-tone. Because I got the dark, I got the light. Already. Easier, right? That's the beauty of working with black ink.
Yeah.
Okay. Mid-tone. I don't have much yellow in there, right? So I think it's a bad joke to start with yellow. I know I'm not going to follow the color scheme in here, but I must not confuse you by doing why I started with yellow. As a matter of fact, there's not so much yellow in there, right? There's another color trick. If you know about mixing yellow, blue, and red, right? Don't mix the three.
No.
You got to pick two, right? In this case, because the reference doesn't allow me to use a lot of yellow as a mixture, I'm going to use my yellow in isolation, not for mixing it with the rest. But I'm going to use a lot of red and blue and green and purpley stuff in there. I better start with this guy then. Ooh, nice.
Oh.
That's what a nice thing. You notice, this might be the last time I ever put water onto my tree. Watch me. The next time I use this guy here, it's just for cleaning my brush. If it is too bad, if it is still
What's
okay.
the color called?
I never know about the name, but it looks good. Just put it. Don't worry about name, right? It looks good. More water in here. Ooh.
There goes the energy.
I'm not showing off here.
No, no,
Yeah, I knew what I'm doing,
yeah.
I thought.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I said earlier, do it like aggressively at one point, and at the other point, just like, you know, doing it like less aggressively. I would like to preserve the white for the top
Yeah.
hat. Yeah, you can take photograph any often you want for your groups. Then see, I begin to vary my brush stroke with aggressiveness sometimes, and some other time I'm doing it like less aggressive. I like when I said I don't want to use the yellow.
But you're using lots of water.
Yeah, but not for mixing.
Okay.
I need to spread the paint a little bit more. I don't use it for mixing. I use it.
Okay.
You see?
Oh, look at that nice blue.
I didn't see any difference between this and that. The difference is because the color was bad. It's bad, but the color is beautiful now.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it like. Oh, sorry. No, I just go crazy, like pretend like I knew what I was doing. See, a lot of bloom in here. If you don't try to correct it, and I don't want to correct it because that's the entertainment. That's the entertainment part for me later on. Right now, maybe you will say, "Oh, there's a lot of bloom," but wait until it comes to the end. It may be the only entertainment you got from this painting because everywhere else was just suck.
Everything else will suck.
Okay, I'm gonna be talking and painting at the same time, right? What I want to establish now is some dark area in the wall, especially, right? I don't want to think too much about the use of my color. I open my can of worms, so I have to use it. It's kind of commitment. Watch your angle and proportion. I like to do this, just for the corner of it.
Yeah, I do that.
This is a kind of habit I'm just having, like not too long ago.
I did that as a kid. I don't know why, but I always did my corners.
Yeah, join the club. I do not know why, but I thought like a picture, like the
Yeah.
old times picture, where
Yeah.
where the square format looks like an elliptical or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. When it is still wet or damp, you can play around with your brush. Doesn't matter, it won't hurt you. But by the time it begins to dry it out, you got to stop doing that crazy stuff. Need more green. This is a viridian as your enemy.
Yes, that.
That's your enemy. See
Yeah.
how friendly it is to me.
Still
It
some
never
green.
explodes to me.
I must have looked at it the wrong way.
Yeah. See, I vary my brush stroke. See, I put it so lightly. It's rather monotonous. Oh, this is a strong color here. I must not dip it too deeply. Ooh, ooh. I can bear to have more dark in here. See, I constantly doing that. Don't touch it anymore when it begins to dry out.
Boy, you really beat that brush up.
Yeah. This is a cheap brush. It's seriously, it's not even more than $2. Yeah, and the longer you have it, the better because it looks like beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is beat up.
I'm gonna constantly remind you. If you want anything perfect, don't make painting.
No.
Go to a factory and produce something perfect. We don't want anything perfect at all. All right?
Right.
So I guess I pretty much imitating what I saw in there. But again, I kept saying that cityscape is about busyness. So it has to look busy, right? But before we got busy and crazy about busyness, I'd like to establish some of the direction. Because this is what the smart guy in the art world say perspective. I always avoid to use the word perspective because it sounds so heavy and important, right? As a matter of fact, it is just angle, not more than angle. It's good to imitate some angle, right? Because you're gonna allow the reading more properly. If you work outdoor and you forgot to bring this guy here, just spit. Seriously. No, serious. I'm not trying to be nasty, but that's the best way of doing it. I'm gonna doing that.
What was it that you used?
It's just spritzer. But it's so small because I don't want to carry a lot. I mean, my backpack is small enough.
One of my art teachers always licked her brushes.
Wow, that's good. That's good. That's a good recipe to die young. Yeah, some of our pigment is like poisonous or something like that. Cadmium is not a good one.
Oh yeah, maybe she knows the difference.
I doubt it. People just get in a habit.
Yeah, maybe she got the antidote. Whatever, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm a potter, and I worked with a woman who used to throw on the wheel, and when stuff got dry, she'd spit on the pot, because that was easier than going to get up and get more water or whatever. And I think, ugh.
I don't carry my lime, but I carry my salt.
That's salt?
Yeah, this is my tequila, so I need salt.
Oh, you put salt on it?
I put, just put, don't put it all over the places. My hand moved like that, but I knew when I let it go. I let it go somewhere around here. And you put everything you have. Yeah. See, this is a good time for you to stop painting and begin to think and to judge. Two things I usually do at this stage. Softening some edges where I don't want it to be hard, and secondly, to make some correction. We both agree that the top hat should be white, right?
Yeah.
It looks like I was carelessly painted it. Don't worry, we can correct it. Just don't go all over the places. Just constantly doing it there. I smudge some of the ink. It doesn't matter. That way. Don't scrub it like that. No. Toss it and rub it and lift it. Whatever it gives, it gives.
Yeah.
And the second thing, I mentioned two things, right? The second thing is to soften some edges. This is how you soften it. The difference between the first procedures and the second procedures is, at the second procedures right now, I don't block it. I just smudge the paint to the other area, so it ends up soft. See? I'm showing you now how useful this gadget is. I'm just softening some area. I could lift that too. I'm lifting some area. This is a good chance to do that, because you still have, you don't really need to use this if you don't have one. You can use a regular brush too. And you can use your stiff brush too, but because I have it, I'm having that, so I'm using that. Oh, I have some little comb here. This may be a good gadget too. I don't have hair, so for sure, yeah, it's a comb. Cityscape has to look busy. This is how to look busy, to get busy.
I'm surprised you're not pulling the paper apart.
Oh, this is arches. That's why I'm using arches. Arches is a good one. I have more trick, as a matter of fact, but it got to be more suitable for when the paper dries, all right? So some paper, not now. This is a wrong time to do that because it's still there. But I'm going to show you later. Please remind me. And I bring something as well in here. It's like, whatever, a marker.
Marker.
Yeah. It's not black. It's not dark. It's like warm gray, 40%.
Oh,
Yeah, I use this a lot for
it's different.
making a little drawing outdoor. I'm going to use it now. I don't know where I'm going to use it, but because I opened the cap, I opened the worm already. That's all. Just for the show, just to show you that I demonstrated to you. Okay, so the painting is beginning to dry now, right? Some area. So it's time for you to establish more value.
I like the blue against the green.
See? You were the one who put in there. Remember? I like to, see, I didn't keep coming back to that. And see, it's still clean though, despite how many strokes I did. So there's a lot of water in here, so I'm utilizing that. So I'm gonna begin to develop the streetcars, right? The streetcars is red. But I was dipping my brush on the crappy red, right? Doesn't matter, put it first. It's like when you do a makeup, right? You maybe start with the foundation or something, I don't know. But after that, you put that something more brilliant. Yeah, this is the foundation. Yeah. Okay. See, I'm being more careful now because I need this to be well emphasized, right? Unlike earlier, but still, I didn't do it like, no. I do it with a
Freedom.
stroke, big stroke, like so.
With a confident stroke.
I want you to watch not my painting, but my hand, how I manipulate this brush,
Oh, yeah.
right? You maybe didn't notice that I hold it this way, and after that I use the corner of it that way.
Yeah.
Now you notice, right? So don't worry about the painting I made. Worry more about how I'm doing that. That's what you maybe can get something out of it. That's the foundation. That's not the pretty red I want streetcars to have. This is the pretty red it must have. I need even it to be thicker. Thicker, a little bit more thicker. I'm not thrifty with my pigment. Yeah. Don't put your red. See, I'm using my what? Corner. Don't just put your red in there. You have to spread it around, like so, right? You want this to be important. You want this to be emphasized, but not like in isolation. You want this to go all over the places too. Maybe it's time to indicate a little bit. There's a McDonald's sign in there. But remember, the quality has to be very, very distinctive, like so. That's the McDonald's sign. Yeah, we can establish later, perhaps. Perhaps, I didn't promise anything, I just say perhaps. That's a nice red for a streetcar. If you're not happy with that, dip more. Dip deeper. And treat it like you paint with acrylic. Nice. Yes. Only you knew when what makes you happy. If it is not happy yet, just do it.
If we paint like him, we're going to lose weight.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
yeah, right.
It's
Oh, man.
exercise.
That's good. Okay. Now I'm going to establish a little bit more in the wall area, right? Around the streetcars. Might likely be, I would not do much more in here because that's the wall area. Later on, the best trick to deal with this guy is to glaze it, dry glazed it. But it has to be totally, perfectly bone dry before you do any glaze at all. And when you do glaze, just pour it and let it go that way. Don't ever interfere with that. But I won't bother with this area. Why? Because the wall. Right? We talked about the sky earlier. When I paint, I do not know which sky, which lake, which what.
Oh.
To me, I want this area to look busy. So I make my sky as simple and as whatever there are. That was the sky I got. Not even blue or what. It doesn't matter. That's the sky. So sky and foreground are two good places for you to play by ear. If you got all the composition looks busy and convincing, makes your foreground and sky rather quiet and calm and simple, and the other way around, right? I'm going to establish this area on top of the streetcar's white hat to pop out the white cap of that streetcar. I'm going to need to make some dark. We all know how to make dark, right? As long as it is not pale, it's dark. That's good dark, right? That's good dark. Sometimes some people add white yellow to that, right? I don't like it, but I just try to prove my point, right? To prove my point. It looks pretty chalky now, right?
Yeah.
Don't add yellow. Remember I said earlier, yellow better be treated in isolation. Don't use it to mix. Don't use it for a mixing, right? Because it's going to be chalky. Better be red and whatever. Right?
Not
That's
transparent, right?
Not chalky.
Yeah.
It looks like muddy, chalky. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to be establishing a little bit more on this area here. So I can bring out, ooh, nice. I can bring out that white cap. Sorry if I just I use a very small brush. I do not know why. I was influenced by you guys. I was using a very small brush. This is a good time now to bring out that cap, right? The whole purpose is just to pop up that white thingy. I need more green. Yeah. That's your good chance.
Do you worry about where the light's supposed to be coming from?
Oh yes, I am. But that was when I took the photograph. When I took the photograph, the light is there already. I don't worry about that. Practically, after 10 years I've been in this watercolor stuff, I don't worry now about what I made. But when I'm making it, that time has to be a quality time for me, and hopefully for you and everybody, and hopefully for you too. Some of us still too worry about what I will produce. If I put this, what's gonna end up? I don't. And as long as I'm enjoying the working of it, what it's gonna end up with, well, hopefully people appreciate it. Otherwise, you cannot force yourself for people to appreciate it. It's just like that. But it's very important for you to enjoy it. I see dark cars in here, whatever. Let's just start blotchy off dark thingy in here, maybe a little bit like that, maybe a little bit. See, I'm making 2 blocks in here, disconnected. So I suddenly reminded myself they have to be well connected. See, this all end up with hard edges. Don't want that, right? Hard edges is bad for wall area, right? So you're gonna kill it a little bit. And I want more connection that way. Oh, it's beginning to see, hopefully you begin to see streetcars. I know it's going to be pretty challenging to see it from that side because it's going to be like upside down. You know what I mean?
But the colors are good.
Oh yes, at least if you got everything fails, shape-wise and every-wise, you have to win the color,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, she's a color girl.
Yeah, everybody has to be a color girl. That's why we're working with watercolor. We're not using water only.
Yeah, I'm a very conservative.
See, I guess I got enough dark already, like how I want it. So I begin to deal with the side of the streetcars, right? And because I used ink earlier, I must retain the consistency of the media I use. So I'm going to just use a dry glaze to make the blue goes all the way, like so. See, I'm just using this guy here. I don't even using this.
No.
You could try begin to stop using that guy too much. Just using this guy because this guy, the corner of it is even finer than that one. I like cobalt blue,
Yes, I do too.
but I don't like cobalt blue. Some people use cobalt blue for mixing. Oh, for mixing. It's like buying a bottle of most expensive scotch and you mix it with Coca-Cola. I use cobalt blue in isolation by itself because I use cobalt blue for its beautiful color. Don't mix it. If you really want to mix it, just mix it very sparingly, very little. No, cobalt blue is not a good mixing agent anyway. It doesn't really give you a lot of value, right? So don't mix it. Cobalt blue is a beautiful color. So beautiful. As well as cerulean blue. And in cerulean blue case, it's even more prominent, more obvious. Why? Because cerulean is opaque. You don't mix opaque thing with other areas. But the whole reason you use cerulean blue because of its beautiful color, right? So use it for itself. Don't mix it. See, this is cerulean blue. Right? It's rather murky. I'm gonna use cerulean blue and earth color for their color virtue. So don't mix it. I'm gonna put this cobalt cerulean blue. I need to find a strategic place for that. That's so. Right. Don't suddenly go crazy. Put the cerulean blue in the yellow. because it's going to be too contrasting.
Yeah.
Yeah? Look the way I dress. I don't suddenly wear a red pant, red color pant, and a bright yellow t-shirt. No, I'm not that. I'm not that showy. Everybody looks like that, right? So I don't put my cerulean blue on top of yellow.
No.
I'm a bit more conservative like you all guys. I put my cerulean blue on top of my cobalt blue. At least blue and blue, right? So the beauty is a little bit like hidden in there, like so. And if you're not happy at all because you cannot touch so much of your wall area, right? Don't worry. You want to share the beauty in the window as well as in the wall. But I promised you earlier, I don't want to touch this so much. But you still can share the good news, spread the good news around.
Oh,
So, at least you got the spirit of cerulean blue in there, not in the manner where you damaging the earlier thing. I don't like that. I don't like this thing, so I just point it that way.
Oh, nice picture of his arm.
Difficult. The most difficult things in our painting world is yellow, right? I know it is not as difficult as my wife, but I was kidding. But yellow is a difficult stuff to deal with, right? I rather to use yellow in isolation. Number one, for sure, I don't use yellow for mixing, unless I need to mix yellow with red to produce orange. That's a different case. But I don't mix this guy with that guy, with that guy, with that guy. No. It's going to end up murky and muddy. I, most of the time, use yellow just by itself. The way I use cerulean blue, the way I use cobalt blue. Remember, the old age bottle of whiskey. Don't mix it with Coca-Cola. No. Cobalt blue, I mean. Okay, now it's time to use yellow. I'm going to use this yellow. It's nice yellow. Ooh, very nice. Mixing a little bit, right? So you kill a little bit of the intensity. That's nice. Where are you going to put it? Oh, it's easier said than done. Put it in here. Remember, what you put on the foreground, you need to repeat it on the sky. Because foreground got it from the sky. All right? Anything you put in here, you owe it to put something on the sky. Again, if you do not know where to put, you just put it in the corner. As usual, that's the trick. Always go to the corner. That's about most of the yellow I'm going to put. I'm not going to put more than that. But, I lie it most of the time. Oh, maybe it's time to show you how I'm going to use this guy.
yeah.
Right? Like I said earlier, I'm not going to draw using this guy, but I'm going to benefit from the kind of mark this guy can give. Right? And this guy is good for giving you this kind of mark. I put some yellow earlier with that oil pastel, remember? It's time now to re-emphasize that.
Stop signs.
And sometimes, and most of the time, you do not know where to put your yellow, but you still want to use your yellow. No, that's nice, see? Busyness.
Yeah.
See, it's like curvy, a little bit.
With the curved line.
Right, exactly. You approve that, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
I
That's
approve
good. Yeah.
Harry, put in a person.
That's that. Yep, exactly. I'm putting my heart out.
No, I mean, put a person in the picture.
Oh, well, you want the
I just want to
figure.
see
Figure.
how-
I cannot
yeah.
put person. I can put figure.
Yeah.
Not person.
Figure.
Person is too difficult for me. All right. What you need for a person
Because
is...
you haven't put in any people there,
Uh-huh.
but I can see the people there.
Wow, that's good.
That is,
That's good.
fantastic. But if you really do put in a figure, how will it look like?
Exactly. Don't invent the wheel, right?
Okay.
See something, hint something. Something looks like a shoulder blade, something looks like an ear, something looks like a sword thumb, whatever, and develop from there one figure, all right? I saw some sword thumb over there, so I'm going to create that sword thumb to be a figure, all right? What the figures need, just something like mid-value mixture, yeah? Whatever color, it doesn't matter. Because your figure, in this case, isn't really the star of the movie. This guy is the star of the movie. Yeah. The star of the movie has to wear a correct colors. The figures is the co-star. And this is how you make figure. Hold your brush like that. Don't constantly holding that way. You want some accuracy, holding it here by the ferrule, right? And oh, I see the sword tongue there. You really need to imagine something. Ooh, there's a figure there. Not strong enough. Not strong enough. Re-emphasized it to make it stronger. That one figure. This is another one here. That's another one here. That's another one here, maybe waiting for the stuff. And what you do next is you take your rigger here, and give the guy some footing and some head. There you go. And you might want to do more, like so, as a thing. Subsequently, when it dries, you just take a white pigment, opaque or whatever, and you draw the shoulder here, one of the shoulder, to show the light direction, like so. So you're going to look like figure from 10 feet away. Or if you look like that, oh, there's no figure, right? A good viewer, a good painting viewer will always use their imagination to look at one painting. I just try to dress up this figure a little bit. And I haven't yet used my pocket knife for sofa. I'm going to use it for scratching a little bit, establishing a little bit. There's some streetcar stop I might want to paint too, right? Give it a little bit like a paint stop. Streetcar stop. Right? I think I played around too much now. It's time.
Tree.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. Make a tree. What kind of color you want a tree? This is,
Brown.
no. All right.
That's what I would use.
Okay. This is my thinking about color. I don't really worry about color by means of the hue. Hue, I mean red, blue. I don't worry about that.
Yeah,
What I worry about is I really want to combine in one painting to combine gray and intense. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Now
So
you
even
you are
intense.
going to make a tree. And you come up with a question like, what kind of color I'm going to put? There's not so much about the color. That's more about the question like, do I want an intense color tree
yeah.
or gray color tree? For that, you need to judge the overall quality of your color on your painting right now. Looks to me it's a little bit gray. If it is so, it's your chance to push it with something like brilliant. Color doesn't matter as long as it's brilliant, right?
Yellowy orange.
Yeah, I want it's like red. I'm gonna test the water a little bit, right? I'm gonna test the water. Do you know how tree grows?
In Brooklyn?
That way, right? That way, right?
From bottom up.
That way, right? But that's here in our reality world. This is our fantasy world. We can grow our tree the way we want it. It doesn't matter at all. And this is how I'm gonna grow it. Oh, that's how I'm gonna grow it. This is our fantasy. We have all the right in the world to do whatever we wanted. See? Make sure the angle is correct. Meaning
yeah.
taller, lesser taller, shorter, shorter, shorter. That's the thing you need to watch. Make it look busy. Oh, there was a question earlier. Did I make a tree over there? Someone thought that was the painting I made. Did I make the trees using a freescape? No, I never use that. Because to me, painting trees is the chance for you to liberate yourself from every rule. All right? As long as you watch a little bit about the perspective. That way. In this case, that way. Taller, shorter, shorter, shorter. Shorter, shorter, shorter. That's it. As long as you follow that and, keep an eye a little bit about that, you're going to be okay. Right? That's all. See how I do that in a very arbitrary way. I want some brightness. See? I want some brightness. Oh, I keep using a big one. Where's my small one here? Small one. Dip in some yellow. Yellow. Whoa. Whoa. Ooh. Oh. Why I did that? Because I did this kind of stroke, horizontal stroke. My mind always be alerting me. Once I do one thing too much, I adjust it the other way around. So it's time for me to do the vertical thingy, right? See, I was using this oil pastel earlier, right?
Yes.
I would like to do something, add something here. Unfortunately, it's still too wet. It might not give you a good effect. But, you know, I don't want you to wait and get bored with that. So I'm going to put it now. It doesn't affect it. It's not effective, but it's okay. I don't like the straight line in here. You don't see it much, but I saw it. I want to kill this effect of straight lines. Because lines too straight will direct your eyes to exit the composition. You don't want that much. I saw that effect, so I'm killing it down. Killing it now. I'm killing it. It's more subtle now. I know it looks so complicated right now, right? So I better finish it and let you have lunch or anything, right? Hold on 1 second. Bear with me for a moment, little bit moment.
I forgot lunch.
And just, yeah, me too. I got a big lunch this morning, big breakfast this morning with McDonald's and the sandwich I brought from home. I missed the 35. I was enjoying my country, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the country. I missed the 35 and got back again. Oh. By the time I realized, and you saved the bell. Thanks for that.
Yes.
I don't want to do any more than that. Maybe a little bit, what is that? Animation, using this white paint. Look, what I'm showing you right now is not so much about me building a nice, beautiful picture, but I'm showing you how much freedom do I employ,
And
do
color.
I use, right? And the message for you is, please don't get intimidated by what I'm doing.
No.
But try to understand the kind of freedom and exhilaration I am experiencing now. Like, I want this white hat to be super white. But unfortunately, earlier when I tried to clean that, I smudged some of the ink. So it looks a little bit like that, right? Now, look. But I don't do it this way. I'm not doing coloring. You know what coloring is?
Yeah.
Coloring means,
In the lines.
In the line.
yeah,
In the lines.
yeah, you know, I don't have to show it. You see, what I'm doing is, my purpose is just to recover a little bit of this white thingy in there. That's how I do it, right? I'm not doing it that way. Not because I'm fearless of stuff. There's nothing like fearless and stuff. But because I'm committed that I don't want that small strokes all the way. See? I'm using this not for drawing. I'm using this for making some marks in here and then by consulting my reference. See? And most of the time I just tapped it that way to leave the marks, good marks, this brown rice. This round brush. See? Round brush and brown rice. It's very similar.